I thought that I was gonna try to do something cute like down, but the way that I just body slammed my bed made absolutely no sense to me. But anyways, hi guys and welcome back. I'm so happy that you could join me. Today's topic is about gossip and why spiritually and like psychologically we're so into gossip as a society, and what really like sparked my train of thought about this topic is the amount of YouTubers that center their content basically around like commentary videos and talking about other people and like breaking them down and like dissecting. I know that there's like a psychological aspect of it, but there's also a kind of like gossip and kind of like a pointing the finger type of aspect. And what led me to think about this is that every time that I'm feeling more down about myself or more insecure, I tend to gravitate more to that kind of content. And it boosts my ego in a way. It gives my ego what it needs to feel a little better when I'm feeling down sometimes. And I realized like negative complications of that and how I'm kind of like beating a dead horse because I'm not really bettering or nurturing or holding myself when I'm feeling low. I'm more trying to find like an easy way out of that situation, that feeling. I'm not sitting in the discomfort, so I'm not being able to process it. I'm kind of just like numbing it by being like, oh, this person's worse, so whatever. But that's not really how everything works. And I really started thinking about that. I have to be honest, I really do enjoy some of these like YouTubers that post a lot of this kind of content. They're so funny, they have such amazing personalities, and they don't just do this, they do like other types of videos and everything. I can put some examples. I don't know if it's sus to put examples. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I guess we'll find out soon. But it really led me to think about this, and I think it's an interesting kind of ponderation to have. What are the implications of gossiping? Why we have them in our society? Why we gravitate so much towards them? And healthy alternatives to kind of remove that from our lives and have a more amplified, loving, caring vision towards others, towards ourselves, and towards humanity as a whole. I think it's really known, I don't know if by anybody, but it's, I think, scientifically proven. I'll bring some facts that the more that we love ourselves, the more that we have compassion, empathy, and just respect for ourselves, like pure unconditional love and care for ourselves, we're able to offer that to others in a more beautiful and harmonious way. The more that we have disgust and cultivate like hatred and judgment towards others, it's kind of just mirroring how we, in fact, feel about ourselves and the judgment that we offer ourselves in return. I know that every time that I'm very heavily criticized by someone, obviously being a human, I look at it and I'm like, wow, like what have I done? What can I do better? And I really sit with it. And sometimes there is something like if it's a recurring thing that a lot of people are telling you. It's I remember when I was a teenager, when I was going through my first breakup, my friend, my twin sister, and my boyfriend, my best friends, and my boyfriend said the exact same quote to me. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I had heard it being said to me so many times that I understood that it wasn't a projection, it wasn't a mirroring, it was the truth. And it was something that I needed to face and heal. And the people around me that loved me the most were helping me see something that might have been like in my peripheral vision and I couldn't quite access. But them looking straight at me, because it's kind of like, when are we actually looking at ourselves, right, in the mirror? But it's also a reflection. The people in our lives are able to just sit in front of us and look at us. And I feel like it's an exercise that we have to do with ourselves. Sit and really feel ourselves and try to understand where all of this is coming from. But in those cases, it's like, okay, that was like a sidebar, but in those cases, it's something truly to heal and nurture within ourselves and evolve. But sometimes you receive like a criticism or something that it's like, I understand that I have this. It doesn't truly bother me. It's not something that I think is detrimental to anybody or to anything. And when you see the person that is telling you this, it's clearly something that they have within themselves that they probably can't accept and can't consciously comprehend that they hold that within them. So when they see it in you, it provides kind of like a mirroring effect and like a trigger of like, I can't accept that within me, but I can't accept that I have that, so I can't process it. I see it in you and I hate it. So I'm gonna tell you that I hate it and that you need to get better and whatever it is. And it's very clear the more that you take a step back and you look that most times that you're in conflict or that things are happening, like it's kind of like that thing, right? When you're pointing the finger to someone, there's a finger that is pointing back at you. And obviously, like there's like work scenarios, and there's like 101 possible cases, a million possible cases where you might be like in a job setting and they need you to improve something, but that's not what I'm talking about. You guys, I hope that you guys are following my train of thought. When I did like the little Google research quickly, I found some interesting things that in the more primal ages, gossiping was used as a form of protection and kind of a self-protection and a protection of the group, because the more information that you had about a certain person, the more that you knew if they would be a danger to you, to your group, to your community, and the more that that information was passed on, the more that everybody was aware of their surrounding, possible threats, and what to look out for in a way. But now we've overcome this. We're at such a different point in our lives that that doesn't apply as much. Obviously, we still have dangers and everything, but I think gossiping nowadays is more used as a form of comparison, comparison of self, of timeline, of journeys, and used in many cases to promote sometimes learning. Sometimes like, oh, like that happened with that person. Is it something that reflects on my life? Is there something that I can learn from? Is it there to inspire me to be better, or to realize that there's like a different outlook that I could have on the situation? Or am I just using this gossip to put that person down in hopes that by them being down, I'll feel better? And know that there's people that operate their daily lives kind of like in this mindset of, if I feel down, I'm not just gonna gossip, but I'm gonna go straight to the person and be rude and put them down and tell them that they're less. And hopefully, if I can see the impact of them feeling less, I'll feel a little bit better. And it's so sad. It's so hard to maintain relationships with these kind of people. Obviously, it's all about phases. When people like this are feeling down, they'll like ruin you. If they're feeling good, it's nice to maintain a relationship. So there's so many ups and downs. There's so much complexity to these relationships. I've done a few videos talking about this. I'll link them for you guys on the top. But it's so specific and it's honestly so detrimental. I know that gossiping, talking to your friends in like a non hateful way, just like a commentary way, like it's natural. My best friend, we went to high school together. We love talking about people's lives nowadays, like almost 10 years later after we graduated. My college friends, it's so interesting for us to be like analyzing the people in our jobs, the people in our scenarios, the people in college, and how we're interacting with them, all the people that we meet through our lives. I'm doing like so many courses. It's so interesting to commentate on others and situations and things on just our journey. But there's a fine line between commentating and gathering knowledge and expanding our consciousness and everything, and downright just hating and pointing a finger and judging without a bigger reflection. We're human, it's normal for us to talk. It's like since the old ages we were gathering information, but it's not normal to be a hater of everything. And every time that I see someone that's just an outright hater, I just look at them with so much sadness and empathy, because I know that the person that they hate the most is themselves. Why am I taking so much of my hands? Because no one that loves themselves has respect for them, for their journey, for their life, for the people around them. Well, a happy person, let's say, won't waste their time hating and spreading bad energy to someone else. People that are aspiring to be at a happy, loving, joyful frequency won't bring themselves energetically lower to shit talk and be rude to someone else that probably hasn't done much to them, right? Because gossiping, one thing is like, oh, someone hurt me, and then you sit with your friend and you're like, I feel sad because this person did this, and it makes me feel like this. I don't feel like I'm valued, and I don't like that they're taking these actions. I don't like these things that they do. I don't like how they act. That's something. Like you just getting any random person and be like, this person is ugly and this person is I don't know what and that person and whatever. Like, okay, sometimes. But that's not gonna benefit you probably at all because it's not constructive criticism or analysis. It's just kind of like a battle of your ego and that person, and your ego is kind of like drowning and trying to survive, and the gossip comes as like a little those like childhood floaties, if you get what I'm saying, but it's not gonna save you if you realize that, oh, like I'm a human being, I can float, I don't need to drown, my ego is safe, even though I might not be exactly where I want to be, I might want to be better. I might not feel my best right now. I'm safe to feel like this. There's room for improvement, and this is all part of my journey. Everything's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna work through this. Sometimes I feel like most times, we want to evolve, we want to be at a higher timeline, living a more impactful and beautiful existence, and we pray for it, but we don't realize how many challenges are gonna come for us to face all of these things. And when we're faced with the challenges of something that we've desired for so long, the ego does try to survive. And I don't know, maybe I've been going through some things that I might share with you guys soon, but my ego has really been trying to survive. And that's when I think the most I go towards like these alternative paths that are not the path to like illumination and peace, that are a little bit darker and a little bit more hidden and not so ideal. And that's where I think the bad type of gossiping and watching, like, there's so many YouTubers, guys, I can't even start to count how many videos I've watched in the past months and things that are just downright talking badly about other people. And it is kind of interesting because people do things that are wrong, and it's kind of interesting to watch and to point out. Especially, there's some influencers that I used to like love, and when I watched the videos of people pointing out the things that they did, I was like, that's interesting to have more information, but it's also not doing me any favors. Like I love watching Abraham Hicks and all those things, and they're always talking about how like the world can be falling to pieces. Now, like 2025, there's so many crazy things happening, so many bad things happening, so many sad things happening. If we chose to like zone in and just be consumed with the hatred for the people that are doing things wrong, like the wars, or like the sadness that is around us in the world, our existence becomes so dark and sad. And it's not like we're alienating ourselves to the point of not knowing that they're happening. We know that they're happening. I truly believe that nowadays it's kind of like the concept of like hell and heaven in our existence right now. And it's all about frequencies and energies. And there's so much beauty to focus on, and there's so much darkness to focus on. You choose which reality you want to live in both aspects. In the like light aspect, there's still darkness around you, but you're not choosing to focus on that. And in the dark aspect, there's still light things around you that you're not choosing to focus on. So it's kind of like it's kind of like the glass half full or the glass half empty. And at the end of the day, it's a choice. And we have to think about like the spiritual implications of all of this gossiping and everything, because at the end of the day, it's an energetic exchange. If you're talking about someone that you care about and you're trying to dissect and understand and process, that's something energetically. But if you're just consumed by poorly talking about someone and basically just outright hating them, that's something else. And energy has a ripple effect. You're probably damaging them a little bit, but not as much as you're damaging yourself by being consumed by all of these denser energies that at the end of the day don't belong to you and are not gonna change the situation probably at all. So I thought I would bring a few keys that the robots brought to me. That is, I'm just gonna read them because if I don't, I think I'm gonna lose my train of thought. But okay, the first one, intent. What is the intention behind our conversation? Are we genuinely concerned and trying to find a solution, or are we indulging in judgment? The impact. How might our words affect the person that we're talking about and the energy within our own circle? Focus. Can we shift our focus from judgment to understanding, or even better, to positive and uplifting topics? Confidentiality. Would we say the things that we're saying in front of the person that we're talking about? That's a big one for me. When I'm really needing to vent to one of my friends, I always think about it and I'm like, yeah, I would say this in front of them. I'm not going to probably because I don't think it would be that constructive because they probably don't want to listen. That's the thing. But I would say it. If someone were to say to that person that I said this about them, I'd be like, yeah, I did say that. That's like a very important thing. Instead of focusing on others' lives, can we gently redirect our attention to our own growth and journey? When we focus on our inner work, we naturally have less energy and dwell inclination to dwell on the life of others. Mic drop. I think that's the perfect way to end this video. There's so much beauty and joy and life and so much positive things that we could be talking about. So many ways to nurture and hold and just embrace our ego and make it feel safe that doesn't involve tearing other people down and creating chaos and judgment and just overall bad vibes. So hopefully we can, instead of watching gossip videos, watch some Abraham Hicks videos. That's what I've been doing for the past, I have to say, like 2 days. I haven't been watching the gossip videos because I realized that it was really putting me down. Even though I started watching them because I was a little bit down, they put me even more down. And I've been trying to be off social media as much as possible the last few days because I feel like it was contaminating me in a way. And now I'm back to only watching like Abraham Hicks videos and videos that I know that are gonna uplift me. And the impact that has on your existence as a whole is tremendous. So proceed with caution in the videos that you watch and the conversations that you have, and even in the judgment that you have towards yourself and others. Hopefully to plant seeds to a more beautiful, brighter, and better existence. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you can subscribe and stick around. It would honestly mean the world to me. And help me fulfill one of my little dreams and passions. And as some YouTubers that I watch always say, it's free. Bye, love you. See you soon.